So after graduation, what happened? What happened next in your
Then I
life?
went to Mildred Ellie,
Okay.
because I knew that's what I wanted to do. So I went to Mildred Ellie and finished there.
Okay. So took like a business secretary course.
Mhm.
Was the plan always to kind of go back and work for the family business?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I was doing that part-time, and so when I got out of Mildred Ellie, I went to work for Calnan Road Improvement Company. So that was that.
Okay.
And because we didn't have enough benefits, I eventually went to the state, and I had a nice job there.
Okay. What did you do for the state? Where did you work in the state?
Uh, Well, I was a secretary to begin with, and then as I went on, I had bigger jobs, and
Okay.
it was nice.
All right. Any particular agency or
Health department.
the health department? Okay. Can you talk a little bit about meeting your husband and
Mhm.
how that came about?
Yeah, that was way back, yeah. And the marriage lasted for 11 years, and then
Okay.
he had a massive heart attack, and that was it.
All right.
After 11 years, yeah.
Yeah. When did you meet him, and how did that come about?
Where did I meet him?
Yeah. Was
No.
he a South Bethlehem guy or a
No,
Selkirk
no.
guy too?
Pennsylvania.
He came from Pennsylvania.
I think maybe I think it was a restaurant.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. And never remarried?
No.
Okay. So you've basically, have you lived in or I keep saying South Bethlehem, but is it Selkirk your whole life?
Mhm.
Okay. It's funny that it's like we talked to Lou Picarazzi and he said, I wouldn't leave Selkirk. I wouldn't leave little people who live in Selkirk really want to stay in Selkirk.
Oh, yeah, the
seems like.
Picarazzis were great friends.
Were they? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So he's probably about you're
He may be a little younger,
a little younger.
maybe 2 or 3 years younger. Mhm.
Okay.
Probably 93,
Yeah.
93,
Any other longtime friends from down that area that you still recall or remember longtime
You know,
friends?
most of the people that I knew are all gone.
Yeah.
Um, I don't, I don't know anybody too much in the area.
Okay.
And of course, it's grown, and there are a lot of younger people.
Sure.
Mhm.
So having grown up in the town of Bethlehem and lived here your whole life, what changes do you think have been the most significant in your lifetime that you've seen? Here in the town of Bethlehem or maybe in the world in general?
There were many.
Yeah.
I remember when my father first started, it was all just a wood business. And then when the lumber company came about, the area was growing, really growing. So there was a need for lumber, and he did a lot of business with Albany Lumber and with Powell and Minnick Brickworks in Queens, and the private people, and it was very nice.
Okay. And I mean the hamlet of Selkirk where you lived really expanded quite a bit. You must have seen that happen right before your eyes
yeah.
too, right?
Mhm. But I have to tell you, going back to the growth business,
Uh-huh.
at that time, Bert Kohinke was supervisor.
Mhm.
And on occasion, he would stop in at the mill and talk, and then come back. And then one day he came, and he said to my father, Nick, we're going for a ride. And the ride was to Delmar. And my father said that it was nothing but a forest that they went through. And Bert said to him if he would like to have a new highway coming to Delmar, to 9W, because of the expansion of the area.
Mhm.
And so he did say to him that that for 2 years, I think, the proposition didn't go through, but I think on the third it did, and it became the bypass.
Okay.
And so my father was beneficiary of all the trees that he could
Uh-huh.
use, and then the town took over the rest.
Uh-huh. So the Delmar Bypass that goes
Yeah,
along
yeah,
follows
that-
Delaware Avenue, your father was the beneficiary
Yeah.
of some of that lumber then?
All of
huh?
it.
Wow, okay.
And then the other one that he was, again, beneficiary of
Uh-huh.
was the seminary that was built down in Glenmont
On River Road?
on River Road.
Okay.
And he took a ride with one of the priests to see the area, and it was a beautiful area, and it went all the way down to the Hudson River. And so he, again, got all the trees, and they took care of the rest.
Yeah.
And now it's Job Corps, as you know.
Yeah, yeah. Just, if you would, talk a little bit about, your childhood and growing up with your two older your brothers you're sort of kind of right in the middle there, right?
Oh, they were older than us.
Yeah.
And they're very protective of us, really.
Okay. Yeah.
They were just beautiful brothers.
So were they? Okay, no,
Well,
making fun of the little sister
well,
or
my
any of that? Or?
my younger brother, well, the one next to me, and I always used to touch each other like that, when we went past each other.
Uh-huh.
And my mother said one day, something's going to happen someday to those arms if you keep on doing that. But it was just like a slap and things like that happened. But my brothers were wonderful.
Okay. And just for the record, can you name out your brothers and your sister, what their names were?
Oh, Michael, John, Catherine, and me.
Michael, so Michael was the oldest.
Michael, and then John.
And then John,
and
then
me,
you, and then
and then
Catherine
Kate.
was the
Mhm.
youngest. Okay.
In fact, Katie was born in the house that we next door, when the house that they initially bought, my mother
Okay.
and father,
Yeah.
in that house.
She was born in the house.
Yeah, I was 4 at the time,
Uh-huh.
and I still remember it vividly.
Really?
And the doctor came out and he said, "It's a girl, and she's going to be Patricia." And of course, my mother said we had Catherine already picked out, so her name became Patricia Catherine, and we all called her Katie, but the relatives all called her Patty.
That's interesting that the doctor would come out and say, "Oh, I think this
Yeah, yeah.
child
Oh,
should be named Patricia."
He was wonderful, Dr.
Yeah.
Holmes, yeah.
Dr. Holmes. Okay.
Marion, is your house, it's near the rail yards, isn't it? Is it near the rail yards?
Is your house near the rail yards?
Yeah, we weren't too far from the railroad. In fact,
What was it like being near the railroad yards? What was that like?
about being by the railroad.
Yeah.
Mhm. Growing up.
We weren't too far from it. In fact, they were so nice to the children in the area that they had a ball field.
Huh.
And we had a lot of visits that we had the ball field teams, and Mr. and Mrs. Paul were the people who managed the Y at the time, and they had us come in the house and talk and visit that. And
Can you talk a little bit more about that YMCA? Because that seems kind of unique that there was a YMCA.
It was very busy with men who came off the railroad, and they stayed there.
Okay.
A beautiful Y, nicely run.
Mm-hmm.
They were nice to the kids in the village,
Okay.
and they had a lot of men on the railroad. And John eventually, that's where he worked, at the railroad. And many years later, they tore it down, and like everything else, they tore it down.
Okay. So the YMCA would be housing for many of the men who worked on the railroad.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
oh yes.
Okay.
And I remember when we had, well, I don't remember too well, but the Depression,
Uh-huh.
men would come past the house and stop and ask for something to eat. That's how bad the country was in at that
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Any particular memories of the war years? I mean, because you were in high school kind of at that
Uh-huh,
time.
uh-huh. Oh yeah, they stayed at the Y,
Who was that? Who
Yeah.
would have stayed at the Y?
The veterans
Okay.
or the boys in the service.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where they were housed.
Mm. All right. If you graduated, you graduated in 1947 from Ravenna High School, right? So you would have had probably some classmates who would have been in the war. Do you remember?
Not yet.
Not yet, no?
Not until after we graduated.
Okay.
I think it was after we graduated.
That they would have entered the war, or entered the service, I should say. Okay. Any other questions, Bill or Tim or?
But I want to, if we're closing, I want to tell you my father had a dream.
Mm-hmm.
He fulfilled it, and he lived life to the best and fullest.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
Absolutely, thank you.